sweet. He's funny. We had a wonderful first meeting. I see incredible potential here.
So all systems are go.
Based on the initial personality assessment, I think that I can have your son moved out of this house and living on his own by June 15th.
Hallelujah.
Well, you know, you'd be amazed at how many adult children are still living at home. Now, it's my opinion that the root cause is a lack of self-esteem.
Oh, Oprah talks about that all the time.
Oprah don't know crap. Heck, when I was growing up, nobody had self-esteem, and we turned out fine.
You're a rock, Al. You make me a better woman.
Look, many young men who should be able to move out simply can't. It's called failure to launch, and that's where I come in. Young men develop self-esteem best during a romantic relationship, so I simulate one. We have a memorable meeting. We get to know each other over a few casual meals. He helps me through an emotional crisis. Then I meet his friends, if he has any. Then I let him teach me something. But the bottom line is, he bonds with me. He lets go of you. He moves out.
But how do you make sure that he'll fall in love with you?
You look nice, you find out what they like, and then you pretend to like it too.
That is pretty much how it works.
What about sex?
Al, I never have sex with a client. Besides, I need to keep Trip motivated, and let's face it, after men have sex.
Is there anything that we need to do?
Well, for starters, you could make life a little more difficult for him. You know, more chores, more responsibilities, that kind of thing.
I just think you should know that Trip has had some rough breaks.
I promise you, when this is over, Trip is going to be an independent, self-sufficient adult.
Shut up, dude. Don't help him.
My safety.
No, he's gonna run. Don't do it. Don't do it. I got you. I got you.
What's what?
Watch out,
No, you
Gordy.
don't. No, you don't. Shit.
That's a bad word, Jeffrey.
So it's bastard. That just means your parents aren't married.
Look at him. Look at him. He's gonna go all the way. Yes.
That's great, man. That's good sportsmanship. Nice dance.
Wow, my forehead itches.
Oh, that's cool. L for loser. I'm gonna keep it up, little man. Make you walk home.
Yeah, you're such a good uncle.
That's like 8 miles. Take you 2 days.
Hey, boys.
Hey.
Hi.
Trip, we're going out.
All right. Listen, got any more chips and salsa downstairs?
Oh, I didn't get to the store.
Nah.
But you could go.
Hmm?
And, you said you needed your basketball shorts, so I put them in the laundry.
All right, thank you, baby.
But I didn't get to it. So you're gonna need to do a load.
Load?
And, your bathroom needs cleaning. So I left the stuff in the hall, and when you're done with the rubber gloves, just remember to turn them inside out. Bye.
So.
Now you notice how Sally, Jessica Parker said you help him to be an independent man. Now, when a man is married to his wife, he's not an independent man. Independent means you stand on your own 2 feet. You don't have to depend on nobody else. He's dependent on his wife. A lot of these men depend on their wife to cook, to clean, to do his laundry, the same thing that his mother does. And the wife usually have a job. How is he independent? If he loses his job today or tomorrow, he's dependent on his wife to pay those bills. If you don't believe me, just look at divorce court. Go on YouTube, type in divorce court, and look at 90% of those dudes don't have a job. So are they really independent? No. Their so-called wife is nothing but their mother. Their side piece, now that's their woman.
With your mom.
This is really nice. I've never actually been on a sailboat before.
Hey, I'd be fine if I never set foot on solid ground again.
You know, I bet I'd really love it if we ever left the dock.
Yeah.
Now, her objective is to help him to be a full-grown, independent man. And majority of the time, society is trying to push people, force you to be married. No, nobody wants that freaking headache. Trust me when I tell you, I've done my bid twice. I have been married twice, and it is a lot of work. I worked a full-time job, 8 hours, and sometimes overtime, and then I made sure my house was clean. I did the cleaning, I did the cooking, I did the laundry. My husband would help out sporadically, but he wasn't consistent with that. He would work 3 hours, 4 hours because he used to get a disability check, a SSI check, okay? And he used to work for 3 or 4 hours. And then when he would come from work, all he would do is lay down, take off his clothes, and be served and catered to. I made sure his dinner was ready when he came home. Same thing a mother does. I made sure that the house was clean. Same thing that a mother does. I did the laundry every week or every 2 weeks. 2 weeks. At least the man living with his mother, he does his own laundry. At least he does that. Or sometimes, same thing that the mother does. So how are these supposedly husbands independent? What's the difference, again, of a man living with his mother and being with a wife? He's afraid that people are going to say, oh, you're just a mama's boy. And he could give, his rebuttal should be, you're just a mama's boy too. You're not single. You're not independent. You call her a wife, aka mother. So you're a mama's boy too. Truth be told. Anyway, I already made a previous video to this one because it really just burns me up. The way society is constantly trying to make single people feel bad, trying to make people who are adults living still with their parents, they try to make you feel bad. They're trying to force everybody into being miserable. That's why you have to dance to your own drummer's beat. Forget about what society has to say. Society has gave us a clown for a president. Society back in the day said slavery was the way to go. That's the right thing. And we all know that was wrong. Just like getting married this day and age, you're crazy. You're crazy. With all of these dating apps, Instagram, they have apps and programs to help you to be unfaithful to your wife and be unfaithful to your husband. They help you to do it discreetly. This day and age, for you to want to get married, you have to be out of your rabbit mind. You have to be crazy. You really do. I'm not saying that there are no good men or women out there. I'm just saying it's a rarity. It's such a rarity. And you ask most men and most women, and they will tell you all men cheat. The women. Now let's just stick on women because I'm a female. I'm going to speak on behalf of women. I've done it myself. I've done surveys. I've spoken to thousands and thousands and thousands of women when I do surveys with Yahoo Answers, or whether I post it on Whispers. There's this app called Whispers where you can put questions out there. You get all these responses. And 99.9% of women feel that all men cheat. And then when I ask them, if you feel this way, why do you want one? You know the response I get? Silence. Stone cold silence. I haven't had a woman or anyone answer that question yet. And that's because that's what society promotes. You can't look hardly at a TV program where they got a woman got to be with a man got to have a woman. You don't hardly see any shows promoting being single, satisfied, and successful. You don't hardly see no shows promoting that.
But I'd really love it if...
No. Majority of these shows is trying to make you feel uncomfortable or like you're a loser if you're not with a man. You gotta have a man. You gotta be with somebody. No. Let's make more shows like, okay, the Golden Girls. They have a man. They go out on dates, but they don't have no man living in their house. The show, Living Single. They don't have no man living in their house. And they don't hate men. They love men. As long as they stay in their own domain. And what about Hot in Cleveland? You can check these shows out on YouTube if you don't believe me. These are females who are crazy about men, but they don't want them living in their house because they're way too much work. They need to stay home with their mothers because that's all a wife becomes eventually anyway. His mother. Oh, please, let's cut the bull, man. Let's cut out all this bullery. And it is what it is. Let's see it for what it is. And people really need to stop letting society make an ass out of you. So I say, if you can stay home with your parents, stay home with your parents, honey, until you find yourself the right person, if that's what you want. Until you find the right person, stay home. Save money. Of course, you're not going to stay home and not work a job because your parents are not going to let you just lay up and be an imbecile or a menace to society. You're definitely going to be a productive member of society, of course. My son left home, like I said, at 33. He always had a job. He had 2 jobs and was going to school and got his master's. And he helped pay bills. He paid his own bills. He paid bills. He paid rent in this house. He paid his rent. He paid his cell phone. He paid for his own food. He did his own laundry. Now, how is it that he was a mama's boy? He wasn't no mama's boy. He got to vacation anytime he wanted to. He didn't have to answer to me. He's a grown man. He come and go as he please. Shoot, that's ridiculous to sit up here and got to move in with some wife who's going to nag the hell out of you, make your life a living hell, or live with some man and he's mean and he's hateful. He hardly does anything around the house. He's always got a goddamn attitude. He never hardly wants to talk, so most of the time it's like you're still alone anyway. You got to come home to a place, a house full of, a home full of misery. Where you could go straight home to your parents' house where your parents already know how you are because they raised you. They know when you don't want to be bothered, he don't want to be bothered. He comes, he goes as he please. He does what the hell he wants. And he's responsible. Don't make no sense. Moving into some place with somebody who's going to nag the daylights out of you and make your life a living hell. When you could stay satisfied, single, and successful. Anyway, this is Sheila True Love again. I had to do a part 2 for this one because it sickens me. The way society keeps trying to put pressure, and want everybody to be caught up in the cycle of misery. Well, not this gal. I'll talk to you later, Tubies. Bye.